Hello everyone, it's Sheila back again. Welcome to my channel. As you can see, it's gardening day today. It is a lovely day. It's the first time I've worn this hat for a little while actually, because it hasn't been that nice, but it's lovely. The sun's gone in a bit now, but it is very warm and close, and my patio was getting, the weeds were just starting to get just too much, so I had to go out and clear the weeds. And normally what I had been doing in the drier weather, I was just boiling a few kettles and just for on my patio, and then I have a large white path down the garden, and I was just pouring the boiling water over the weeds, and it worked. It kept, they didn't stay away, they did come back again like they do even with weed killer, they do come back again. But it didn't take that many, had to boil a kettle that many times. But since we've had this rain, we've had a lot of rain, not lately, up here where I live in Backwith anyway, and the weeds are just, they're just starting to take over my garden again. So I thought, I'm out today, I'm going to clear the weeds off my patio, and I work for about an hour and then have a rest for about an hour, and that's what I did. I went out, it's 12:30 now. I went out about 11 o'clock and worked until 12. It took me an hour to get all the weeds out of my patio. I have 4 little flower beds around the patio. I'm going to have to go out after I've had an hour's rest. I'll go out and clear some of the weeds out of them. There's a lot of them you can just pull out those type of weeds by hand. So I'll do that first, and then just get my little garden, my little border spade or border fork, and get the rest of them out. And it's very easy because the soil is, well, it's sort of wet at the moment with all the rain we've had, so they're easy, the weeds are easy to get out. It's not a lot of work. It's harder when they're actually dry because you have to dig. You have to force the spade down, but you don't when it's like this. So that's what I've been doing. But I've come in, I've had my lunch, and I made myself a jug of lemon water, because I do like lemon water. A drink, and then I'm going to do a little bit of knitting. I'll go out again in half an hour by 1 o'clock, so that's had an hour's rest. But it is really very warm today. It's one of those days where everything I'm wearing is sticking to me, That's just with working though, but the weeds are just so many weeds, and that they're just taking over my garden again, and I did have to get out and do them. But anyway, I'm doing a little bit of this sweater while I'm knitting. That's what I did this morning before I went out, after I had my breakfast, and I did a little bit knitting, and I finished this. It was the back of the little sweater that I'm doing. I finished that off, I finished the back off. It's a little 22-inch one, this one. So I finished the back. The only thing when you do this, it's not noticeable if you do this pattern just single colour, but when you have 2 colours like this, you tend to get wider where you're doing the shaping, and you can't do that. Sometimes the stitch that you need to do this stitch here comes in the middle of the shaping, and you can't do, so you get a wider bit of, like there's a wider bit of white there, and it's not so bad other places, but that's, as you go further up, that's what happens. So I might maybe sort this out to do like a set-in sleeve with it, so that once you do the shaping, get so much shaping, then it goes straight up, so you won't have the that. But I'll sort that out later. I'm just doing this one. I was just trying this one out actually, because it's a long time since, well, it was on my knitting machine the last time I done this type of pattern. But that's what I'm doing when I have my brie. I'll be doing that until tea time. Them sort of things till tea time, because I do my own of a night time. And I was at my granddaughter's yesterday, and when I came in, I did get a little bit more of this done, not much, but I just wasn't in the mood for knitting last night. I don't know what it was. I was just watching things on my computer. I very rarely watch anything on the telly. I just plug them into my computer and watch them there, because the computer's just on my coffee table sitting in front of me, and I can hear the sound better, because I think as I'm getting older my hearing's not as good as it used to be, and sometimes when I'm sitting watching the television I can't make out what, you know, it's okay normal channel things and that, but when you come to films and TV and stuff, sometimes I just can't make out what they're saying, you know, and the sound is just garbled, and I put speaker things in, but if I'm on my computer I can put well, I have the little speaker thing here. I plug this into the computer and it makes the sound better and I can hear better, but I have some of those wireless ones, you know, ones you just plug the little things in your ears, but they only last for about 3 or 4 hours. I don't know whether more expensive ones last longer, but that's all I get, about 3 or 4 hours, so I have to go onto that little speaker anyway afterwards. But like I'm saying, I mustn't have been in the mood for it, and I only done a few rows on my own, and that was then I just sat down and watched what I was watching on the computer. It's suppose it happens sometimes. But I had a good day yesterday at my granddaughter's. My granddaughter's mother, Veronica, her name is, well, she's my ex-daughter-in-law actually. My son and her are divorced, but I'm still friends with her. And she was there with my grandson. Cheryl's brother David was there as well, so we had a good afternoon and we all had our dinner. Cheryl was doing her mum's nails. She does, you know, that's what she does for a job. She works in the salon thing and she does those nails, you know, false nail things, and I was sitting watching what she was doing with it was very interesting, but it was such a long job for gluing these things onto your nails and then doing what you had to do, and just all I did when I was young, I was putting a bit of nail varnish on, that was it. I wasn't bothered about all the things that they're doing. So I had a good afternoon chatting and watching what Cheryl was doing with her mum's nails, and the kids getting in the way, and very noisy, the kids and that. But I did think when I was looking at my garden and this morning, I thought I'm going to have to clear those weeds. They were getting really, really bad. I suppose we're into September now, probably. I think I usually cut my hedge in September, about the middle of September, and that's usually about the last time until the next year, because it usually stops growing, or it grows very slowly after that, so at least I won't have that job for a few months until it starts growing again next year. But I have a lot of places in my garden. I've got another, it's a kind of patio behind my outhouse. My husband used to use it for a workshop when he was alive. It was his place for doing anything that he wanted to do with power tools and things. He used to do around there, and there's a lot of rubbish there, but there's also a lot of paving on there where all the weeds is coming up. You know, those dandelion weed things that go, tap roots that go right down. Doesn't matter how hard you try, you can't get rid of them because you can't get down to the bottom of the tap roots. Those are busy spreading everywhere as well, so I'm going to have to clear that as well. And I have a good patch down the bottom. That used to be my strawberry patch. I dug that out a while ago, got it all ready. I'm going to get some more plants to put in because I stopped growing them because of the rabbits coming into my garden, but I haven't seen any rabbits around lately. I think they might have gone. I could tell in the winter if there was any snow, because you would see the rabbits' prints in the snow, but there wasn't any. With the little bit of snow I had last year, I never seen any rabbits' prints and that, so I'm hoping they're gone so I can start growing things in my garden again like I used to do. which I stopped probably about 3 years ago, growing anything at all in, because it just came and ate everything and it wasn't worth it. But I did get that little patch sorted out, and I've got a lot of I've got 2 compost bins in the garden, and one of them is ready for putting into the garden, so I'll put some compost into the that little patch where I'm going to put the strawberries. I have to buy some plants to put into it. I can't remember which ones I had in last time, but there was some that were, you got quite big strawberries, bagata or something like that, I think they were called. So I'll have to get some plants to put in for my strawberries, and just basically clear all the weeds out of my garden, ready for the winter months, so it's all sorted, all the rubbish is out the garden. That's what I'll be doing. And that was another reason why I decided to stop doing any orders until later on in the year, because of the time it was taking me to knit. I had nothing, I had no time for anything else. All I had to do was sit and knit all the time, and I decided next year I would probably not be taking any orders for the whole of the summer, because I do like to do things to get into my garden and that. But I'm going to be finishing what I'm doing here, do a little bit more work in my garden, have another bit rest, and then walk over to the post office, because I'm going to post the parcel to Emma with the bag that I knit her. So that'll be a bit more exercise, because I'll walk over the post office. About a very slow walk, it's about 15 minutes from where I live. I could go in my car, but I'm not that lazy. Sometimes I do go in my car, but if I'm going somewhere else as well, I'll call 1 or 2 places. But I'm not going anywhere else today, so I'll just walk over after I've finished doing what I've got to do in the garden and tidy myself up a little bit. So that's just my bit for today, and I'll catch you all another time. So thumbs up and subscribe, and bye for now.